Good morning. It's time for Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson. Good morning, Larry.
And congratulations, Dick.
5 years.
5 years on the air.
Who'd ever thought, Larry? Yeah. We stumbled through that first show that night, and here we are. So.
The whole idea came just on going up to a game one time.
Yeah,
we thought, we talk all the time.
All the way up and all the way back, and it makes for, and it's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it, Larry, and it's fun to do, and hopefully maybe we got a few more years left in us.
You bet. Again, all our shows, or most of them at least, are archived on our website, cwbradio.com. A lot of guests we've had over the years.
Yeah, you bet.
We'll get some coaches in here before the basketball season gets underway.
It's the things that strike out to me are like visits like with John Geyer.
Yeah. But
also the kids we've had in here.
Oh, yeah.
You go. Tater Lowry, Nolan John, Gunnar Hoffman, Luke Dukes, Derek Schernitz, kids like that.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Schoen we've had in here. The little, I can't think of their name, the brother and sister, the snowmobile. I said just all things like that is all things, I put this together thinking, and that's, I guess, was the highlight of me, of all the different people we've had in here to interview it.
Yeah,
and all different kind of things, too, you know. So Bryce Backus with the motorcycle.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So
we've had a lot of guests. Not many lately, but we hope to get some more in here as time goes on again.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of fall sports to talk about. Let's first start with girls volleyball as they got their first round games in on Tuesday. There wasn't many games in the area. No. There will be a lot more tonight when they get into regional semifinals. But a few area teams went down. Assumption beat Greenwood in Division 5. Thorpe, they move on. They beat Boyceville in Division 4.
Yeah, Augusta beats Port Edwards, and they will travel to Columbus Catholic tonight. So, that is a 1-8 matchup. So,
all right. Independence Gilmanton shut out Almo Center Lincoln 3-0, and Independence Gilmanton will be at Neelsville tonight in Division 4. Bangor is at Loyal tonight in Division 4. There are some traveling trips in these regionals.
Yeah, Bangor, a 9 seed, that kind of threw me. Usually, their girls' sports are a little stronger than that, but a 9 seed, but they overcame Blair Taylor, traveled to Loyal. You never know,
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty, and the winner of that Loyal in that match will take on, I believe, the winner of Leva Strum and Pep and Elma. So.
Okay.
And as long as Loyal wins, they will have home matches.
Right. Always a higher seed.
So.
And let's see, Manawa is at Auburndale, Rosholt at Pittsville in Division 4 tonight. You've got Coleman at Edgar. Abbotsford is at Rib Lake. That's in Division 4. Yeah. In Division 3, Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser at McDonald Central. Just some of the games that stand out here. Durand, Arkansas at Colby. Stanley Boyd at Stratford. Arcadia at Fall Creek. But how about Prescott at Marathon?
Ooh, that's a little travel.
Yeah, how long is that trip? Wow.
The only good thing is you get to stay on Highway 29 all the way if you want.
I guess, That is a haul.
That's a haul.
Yeah.
It really is. I said, it's an hour for us from Marathon, and it would take us 2.5. It's a 3.5, better than a 3-hour trip.
Yeah, Prescott's over there a long way.
It's right on the Mississippi. It's 15 miles to the west of River Falls. So
for a Thursday night.
Yes.
Hopefully, maybe they don't have school on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully for that. So, but how about Kobe grabbing a second seed? Their volleyball program has come a long way.
Yeah,
and and it showed in their all conference. They had several girls in the all conference, but at Gilman too. And Gilman also had the player of the year in
So in the Cloverbelt Conference, Abby Chaplinsky was the player of the year. In the Eastern Cloverbelt. But how about, the Cloverbelt very well represented.
Yeah, you bet. And they're strong this year. Yeah. They showed that, I think, Larry, in the crossover. And, I think they're going to be hopefully strong. Possibly there's a Loyal Neelsville match down the pipe here.
Could be.
So it's
that would be a regional final.
Yeah, so that would be interesting. So
Division 1, Menominee at Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids at Stevens Point. In some of the regional semifinals tonight. Winners move on to the regional finals on Saturday for
and
girls
then their
volleyball.
Sectionals will be next Thursday, Saturday. So,
getting down to the
we're into the run now.
Yeah, we're into the tournaments now. So we're going to hit some state tournaments here coming up in the next few weeks.
Yep.
Cross country, they only have sectionals. They don't have a regional.
I just wanted to touch on the Cloverbelt Conference match. A couple of things.
Yep.
First on the boys' side, McDonald first strong team this year, but Isaac Schur first, and then brother Nathan seventh. So they're both first team all conference. So
second year in a row that Isaac's won the conference.
Yes, absolutely. 15-58, pretty fair timeout at Levis.
That is good.
And then the other thing that struck me was the girls' side, Bloomer, they took 1 through 4.
Yeah, that was something.
And I don't know how these 3 are related, but they all have the same last name, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
Sierra Hartman, Briella Hartman, and Aaliyah Hartman. That was 1, 2, 3, and then Sophie Strand was number 4. So that is a powerful match.
That is.
That's
when you get the top 4.
Yeah. I said I don't know what their 5th runner did, but she didn't have to be too good.
No. Yeah.
All
right. So they have these sectionals coming up on Saturday, and in Division 3, Neillsville is going to travel to Westfield area. Just a couple of area teams there, along with Neillsville. Well, actually, there's more than just a couple. There's a lot of them there from this area. Columbus Catholic, probably the one that stands out in that grouping there.
That'll be interesting. Isaac, I'm sure he hasn't seen a lot of guys from south of Westfield. And they meet up. And it's a little different. But the reason they end up in Westfield, Kobe does have a sectional, and it's a Division 3 boys. But Kobe girls are a co-op with Abbotsford, so they are D2. So they are hosting a D2 girls sectional and a boys 3 sectional. Okay. So, and most schools want their kids to run all. Don't want to split their kids up. Yeah. Well, as in Neillsville, it's one coaching staff. So
right. Yeah. So. All right, and the top 2 teams in each of the sectionals and the first 5 individuals who are not on those teams advance to state. And the state meet is at the Ridges in Wisconsin Rapids next Saturday, November 2nd.
Been at the Ridges for a long time. Yeah. It's a long time.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a nice place to have it.
Yes, it is. So.
All right, so cross country has their sectionals coming up on Saturday. Good luck to all the individuals
in
cross country and in volleyball tonight.
Yes.
All right, let's get to it. Football, it gets underway. The 8-player and 11-player both have level 1 coming up on Friday night. Let's start in 8-player football. They only have 16 teams.
Yep.
So it's just one division.
And it was top 2 teams from each conference. Okay. So, which to me, Larry, was pretty interesting. Owen Withee, of course, undefeated, got number 1 seed. The team that gave them their best game all season did not make the tournament. So,
Gilman.
Gilman, 24-22.
But McDonald did. McDonald will have Newman Catholic. Boy, how about 2 powerhouses over the years in
8-man football. There's a lot of history right there, and McDonald, if Owen Withee goes through and gets McDonald, it was 58-27 the first time around. So anything can happen up there. But
and if that matchup does come about, Owen Withee, McDonald Central, you and I could be there.
Yes,
for that game.
That'd be all right.
All right.
Yeah, I think Owen Withee 8-man deserves a little coverage.
I think they do. Yeah, they do a little. A little loving up there in Owen Withee.
You bet.
But how about if they make it through Owen Withee and Highland gets through? Yeah. How about a state semifinal there? Highland and Owen Withee.
Yeah, and another team that I noticed on the other side too is Clayton.
Yes.
Clayton, it was 36-22 in a matchup with Owen Withee too. Yeah. So that's another team to watch on that side. But Highland is going to be tough, and
watch Northwood Solon Springs. Yeah. They've got an athlete there, and the Schultz boy.
Yep.
He's good.
Yeah, he showed it on the basketball court last year. So
and Hurley, how about Hurley? We made that trip up there a few years back.
Yeah,
for 11 players.
Yeah, and now of course Hurley 8-man. So and they have a strong program up there. I would think Scott Erickson is still in charge up there. So it'd be interesting what they do. This must be their first year at 8-man.
Yes, it is. So,
yep. But after watching last year's 8-man, where Florence won the state championship. And you got to watch those teams up in that Northwoods.
Yeah.
We didn't know much about Florence when they came down with some tremendous athletes and a great game with Thorpe. But that Florence walked away with a state championship there. So.
Yeah. So you never know what's going to happen with the 8-player football. But they have their level 1 games coming up on Friday night, and as well as the 11-player. So let's start in Division 7. And in Division 7. Let's see, area teams there. We've got Glenwood City at Blair Taylor.
Yep.
Edgar Pittsville. We'll be up there for that one at Edgar, 7 o'clock on 92.7 WPKG. Pittsville an 8 seed, and Edgar pretty much handled them the first time they played back in September.
Yeah, Pittsville came in 2-4 last Friday night, got a win. So they're going in, I believe, 3-6 overall. And so it looks like a mismatch on paper, and it might be, but Pittsville's still going to come up there and play well. Pittsville has some nice athletes.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Dawson Luther is the one that sticks out to me. So another team to watch on the bottom of that bottom bracket, Larry, is Iowa Scandinavia.
Yes,
Iowa Scandinavia has been a D6 team for a long time, and now they're in D7, and they played very well in that Central Wisconsin small. I forget what their head-to-head up with Edgar was, but I think it was a pretty good matchup. So,
yeah, you look at that Central Wisconsin small, and there are a number of teams in the tournament. You got Abbotsford, Auburndale, Edgar, Pittsville, and Iowa Scandinavia all coming out of that conference.
Yeah, another one that caught my eye. If Edgar would make it to level 4, I see Boyceville, and we watched that Boyceville-Edgar matchup last year in level 3, and Boyceville with a really wide open offense and was the only team that really scored points on Edgar last year. So Spring Valley, very tough also up there. They defeated Boyceville. I forget the score. It was very close in a matchup for the Dunn St. Croix St. Croix Championship. So, and that's the difference between 1 and 2 there. So
before we go on, I just want to mention the fact that there are a number of teams that are under 500 that did make the playoffs because of the number of teams that have gone to 8-player now. So. And in our area, those teams that did make it that were under 500 in their conference included Colby in Division 5, Pittsville in Division 7, then you have Whitehall making it, and also making it under 500, Lakeland and Merrill were teams that were under 500.
But like we said, Larry, 1 through 7, you're going to have 32 teams, and WIA is going to do whatever it takes to put 32 teams in each bracket.
And there has been some flat. We talked a little bit before we went on the air about some of these matchups in the first round.
On the left side of this bracket, I don't have a problem on this left side, but the one that caught my eye on the right side, Larry, all season, Petoskey Cassville was number 1 in D7. They are a number 3 seed. And they are matching up against Blackhawk Warren, who was the runner-up last year. And they're number 6. Those teams played last week.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But I have no problem with Bangor being a number 1 Bangor with a long but I don't know what their record is this year. But that just caught my eye, that Petoskey Cassville. And once again, I don't have a problem with the Dairyland Conference. But teams in the Dairyland Conference do not do well. And that's right. Cochrane Fountain City, to me, is not a good 2 seed.
Okay.
I think
interesting where they are put, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got a number of the other guys from the Dairyland over on the left side of that bracket.
Yeah, and Cochrane Fountain City, to me, is a weak 2 seed. I seen them more as a 3 or 4, and I thought Petoskey Cassville should be on that line or even on the number 1 line. So
okay. And you got Leva Strum. You talk about teams from the same conference. Leva Strum at Pep and Alma.
Yes.
Both from the Dairyland Conference.
Yeah, and there's Pep and Alma, another strong team, but a 3 seed because they are sitting there against Spring Valley and Boyceville. So,
right. Yeah.
So why is Pep and Alma a 3 and Cochrane Fountain City a 2? I don't know. So,
I know there's been some
and
talk.
We're going to see a lot more of that coming through here too. So,
all right, let's go to Division 6. Any favorites in that Division 7?
I like Edgar on the left side, and I have heard a lot about Kenosha St. Joe's, and I think they're going to be maybe tough on the right side.
Okay.
Maybe an Edgar Kenosha St. Joe's in the finals, maybe.
All right, there you go. All right, Division 6. We've talked about this division several times before the tournament even came in, and it's going to be a strong field. And you've got, of course, Regis, a number 1 seed, probably one of the favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. They have met every challenge on their way. They've beat teams like Stanley Boyd, who's going to be one of the better teams in D5. They beat Mondovi. They've just nobody has gotten in their way all year, and probably one of Coach Brenner's better coaching years because he did not have a lot of people back this year.
Right.
So
well, they got Fall Creek, a team that they played, of course, in the Clarabelle Conference right off the bat.
And Fall Creek is a team that I would not sleep on because we've seen them play. They're big and strong. They
didn't have their quarterback when we saw them.
Yeah, and they know how to run the football. And Nathan Kurtz looks like a pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
I stood next to him in the press box. He's a big dude.
He's a big guy for quarterback. Yes, he is. Yes. Mondovi, the other team out of the Clover Belt, they have number 6 seed Cameron at Mondovi.
Yeah, Cameron, has always been pretty good. Mondovi struggled back part of the season and took her on the chin against Fall Creek last week in a game that got Fall Creek into the tournament. But Mondovi with a home game there, and then they would have a match against another tough team, Grantsburg, in level 2. So
5 teams out of the Clarabelle Conference made it into
pretty
the
good.
tournament.
Yeah, Elk Mound, as you'll see, and Stanley Boyd in D5, and then Regis, Fall Creek, and so shows you the depth of that conference.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Also in Division 6, we've got Nakusa at Abbotsford.
Yeah.
Auburndale is going to host Westfield. That game you can hear on 1450 AM, 98.7 FM, WDLB on Friday night. And then Bonduel, the number 2 seed on the bottom of that bracket, they take on Crandon.
A lot of people talking about Coleman,
yeah.
even though they've been a D7 school in the past. But I would not sleep on Bonduel. They beat Wittenberg-Burnhamwood in their first matches.
Okay.
And Wittenberg-Burnhamwood went through the Central Wisconsin Large with 1 loss. So, but a lot of people reading don't think Coleman better not sleep on Wyowega Fremont either, because they can put points on the board in a hurry. They're not much on stopping people, but but they can really. They have a quarterback, a left-handed quarterback who is very accurate, and a couple of wide receivers who can run. So
and Coleman is normally a running team.
Power running.
Yeah,
power running team.
Yep.
Yeah, big, strong kids.
Yep.
But it should be interesting there. If Coleman comes through, it'll have Abbotsford. If Abbotsford can pull out against Nakusa.
That'd be a good round 2 matchup.
Yeah, very good matchup, too. And on the bottom, you'd have Bonduel and Auburndale, hopefully.
Another good one.
Yeah, so some really nice matchups in the bottom of that bracket. So.
All right, what do you got in Division 6?
Well, I am going to stick with Regis on the left side, and on the right side, let's see. I am going to go with Lancaster, Perennial Power.
Okay, all right. So Lancaster against Regis, possibly in Division 6.
Yeah, that had to be played sometime. Many times as those guys have been out there.
That's right. All right, 2 guys on sports here this morning looking at the football brackets as level 1 of the playoffs coming up tomorrow night. And we go to Division 5, where St. Croix Falls, a team that Neillsville Granton played last year, and they get another team out of the Clover Belt in Elk Mound.
Yeah, and they went all the way to level 4 last year. Yeah. So I don't know what they have back, but
they had their running back back.
Okay, he was an awesome running back,
yes,
and they were big last year, Larry, and I would think they're going to be big. There is a potential level 2 matchup with Wittenberg-Burnhamwood that will be very good there.
Yeah. So. Okay, and Stanley Boyd gets Spooner. Yep. And then Colby is at Northwestern.
Yes.
Northwestern's always been a power, too.
Boy, I don't know. A lot of people are talking about maybe a Colby upset against Northwestern, but Colby just doesn't seem to have it all together this year. And that's a long trip.
And it would take something to beat
Northwestern. But last year, St. Croix Falls and Northwestern played, and that was a big shootout in level 3. So, but Stanley Boyd and Spooner, and they get the winner of Colby and Northwestern. So
there could be some pretty good level 2 matchups there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Division 5.
Absolutely. So and then on the bottom half too, you're going to have a pretty good Southern Door team at 4 and Wrightstown at 1, and Wrightstown is going to be a super tough team to beat.
Yeah. So they could very well be the team to come out of that side.
Yeah, I agree. That's the one I would put my money on there. And
how about Stratford getting put over in the?
That is,
interesting bracket there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there is some tough. Okay, you start off. Okay, they've got Horicon-Hughesford a 1-8 there, but you're talking a level 2 matchup with Amherst maybe or Ootsburg,
right?
And then Lake Country Lutheran is a 3. St. Mary Springs too. You talk about some rich football schools right there, and. That takes you back when Ben Barton and those guys were seniors. They hadn't been scored on all year, and they gave 1 touchdown, I think. And it was Lake Country Lutheran who beat them in the state title game that year. So that would be kind of a matchup to go back on there. So
and of course, Stratford moving up a division this year, winning the Division 6 title last year, moving up to Division 5. Still got a number 1 seed, but it's going to be a tough bracket to come out of.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it into level 3, but that is going to be a struggle there against the winner. Whoever comes out of there, either I think it'll be either Lake Country Lutheran or St. Mary Springs. So
you think that would be the representative from that side then? Whoever comes out of there?
Whoever wins that game is going to. The top end, I don't see anybody that really sticks out at me. Prairie du Chien has always had good football.
Darlington's always been pretty good.
Milwaukee Academy of Science, that to me has always been more of a basketball school.
Yeah.
Richland Center, Darlington. Okay, there's a school right there.
Yeah.
On the upper half. But it seems to me, and there would be a great matchup too in the rematch of last year's D6 state championship. Right. But I am going to pick a Stratford Wrightstown final here, Larry.
All right.
So
all right, there you go. That's Division 5. All right, Division 4. Now we start to get into some of the divisions where not a lot of area teams involved. But let's see, what stands out here. Mosinee hosts Ellsworth.
Yep. There's a nice matchup there. Ellsworth been a perennial power over the Middle Border Conference, and that side of the conference, that side of the bracket, very loaded with Middle Border bracket. You got St. Croix Central, you got Prescott, you got Ellsworth, and Baldwin-Woodville, all in the 8-man.
And Prescott kind of slipped a little bit. They were really a powerhouse in the beginning of the year.
But that's like I said, that's a tough over there, and we'll see what happens. Prescott brings in a pretty darn good quarterback in Teddy Bernick, but it's pretty interesting. You look at the travel here, and of course this gets back to we're in D4, but Freedom and Seymour. Okay, St. Croix Central is going all the way to Freedom, which is and Seymour is going all the way to Prescott. So.
Yeah, there's some travel going on there.
And Ellsworth going to Mosinee, too.
That's a long ways.
And then Baldwin-Woodville going, O'Connell Falls going to Baldwin-Woodville. So a lot of travel in that upper bracket there. So,
all right, on the other side, you got Aquinas, number 1 seed, powerhouse. Did they move up a division?
Yes, they did.
They did, okay.
Yeah, they were D5 champs last year. Last 2 years, excuse me. So they got Edgewood in their first round. Looks like a good matchup against a good Lodi team in level 2. Columbus is a team that sticks out as a number 2 on that side. And then Lake Mills on the bottom part is supposed to be a strong program. So
what do you got in Division
This is going to be a tough one to pick, but oh boy. I am going to go with Mayville versus Columbus.
Okay.
So
all right.
2 number 2s.
All right. Division 3, we got Medford hosting Lakeland out of that Great Northern Conference.
Medford,
Wausau East also.
Medford pulling a number 1.
Yeah.
Great season for them. Lakeland, Wausau East, of course, an old Valley member but very small school, moved into that Great Northern Conference. They actually, a couple of years ago, Larry, were playing 8-man football also.
Oh, okay.
They used it to build up their numbers, and now they're doing pretty good. Not real familiar with Fox Valley Lutheran, but so I could see a Medford Wausau East match in level 2. So Merrill in there at a 7. They've got to play a pretty good Onalaska team. So, but I think you could see a good level 3 match. La Crosse Logan too is a good number. You're going to see a nice 3-2 match up there against Onalaska and La Crosse Logan. Of course, that's a matchup in their conference.
Sure.
But, Medford and Onalaska had a non-conference matchup earlier this year that Medford won. So, so Medford looking pretty good on that side of the bracket. But
all right, anything else that stands out or any
Notre Dame was number 1 all season in D3. They got a number 2, and Grafton pulled a number 1 on that side. So.
That's one of those situations where if you get Grafton, you show them who should have been number 1.
That's right. Yeah, and it also I think it also shows Larry the difference. WisSportsNet is the polls we pay attention to,
poll,
and their formula, WIA's formula, totally different.
Yeah,
totally different. So.
All right, what do you got in Division 3?
I am going to go with Notre Dame on the left side, and I am going to go with Catholic Memorial on the right side.
All right.
Catholic Memorial moved up to 3 this year also. So.
All right, Division 2, where we have Marshfield at New Richmond. That game on 92.3 FM, WOSQ, tomorrow night at 7.
This might be the most interesting 1-8 I found, Larry. They played the first game of the season in Marshfield. That was a 7-6 game.
Yeah.
So that might be the best 1-8 game we see this year. So.
All right. Then we go down. Menominee is at Monona Grove. You don't see Menominee with a 6 seed too many times.
Then have to travel to Monona Grove. Rice Lake pulled a 2 with New Richmond. So, that'll be an interesting match.
Yep.
New Richmond beat them by 2 points earlier in the season, and I believe that was an overtime game. Okay. So that could be a really good level 3 matchup there.
All right.
On the bottom side, you got perennial power Kaukauna. Sun Prairie East is the number 2. They'll be strong. A lot of people like Badger on the other side.
Okay.
And then Homestead, very strong too at a number 3 too. But I like Badger against Larry. I am going to go with Rice Lake.
All right, Badger against Rice Lake. There you go in Division 2. All right, Division 1. We got about 5 minutes left here on the show. Division 1, Let's see. We got Stevens Point is at Madison Memorial. Nice little short drive.
Yeah, and this is the one where we discussed the seeding. You got conference champ DC Everest to number 7, traveling to number 2 Hudson. They did not play during the regular season though.
Okay.
And then DC Everest, the runner-up, got the number 6, even though they lost a head-to-head.
Stevens Point.
Yes, Spash.
Yep.
And they are traveling to Madison Memorial. So, but
yeah, I don't know how DC Everest, the conference champ, got a 7 seed.
No. And you got to drive to Hudson then too, which is darn near a 3-hour drive. But if they both win, they get another matchup, and that was a classic matchup.
It was.
Yes. Double overtime, 47-41. So, but this very D1 is very tough. Wanakee is on top there, very strong. On the bottom, Marquette is a defending champ, I believe.
Yep.
Franklin on the other side. You could a good level 2 matchup there is Franklin and Muskego, and the level 3 matchup there could be Titanic. That could be Franklin and Kimberly.
Yes.
But and then on the bottom half, Verona, and you're talking about a level 3 match with McGonigal there too. So
well, even a level 2 matchup, Verona and Arrowhead.
Wow, yeah, I said
that's a stacked side of the bracket.
Yeah, it really is, and I'll tell you what, it is going to be a fight to get through these. So, but I am going to go with Kimberly on the right, and on the left side, I am going to go with Marquette.
Okay, all right. So Marquette maybe defending their Division One.
Yep. So I sound a little bit like with Sportsnet picking defending champions, but
somebody's got to do it, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Somebody's got to do it.
I've never been real strong in the prediction game. So,
right.
So,
by the way, Edgar has the most state finals with 14.
Yep.
They advanced to the most state finals. St. Mary Springs and Stratford have won the most championships with 9 apiece.
Yeah.
And there was another one. Edgar has compiled the most wins in the history of the playoffs with 96.
Wow.
They've qualified 37 times for the playoffs.
And the playoffs started in the late 70s.
Yep.
Yep. So,
yeah.
And
76.
76. And then it was just 4-man brackets. And I think there was like 4 divisions. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they expanded it in the early 80s.
Yeah, and then I believe it was like 85, 86 when he started taking conference runner-up, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So but it's where it is today. So,
right.
So.
All right, we got a couple of minutes left here on the show.
World Series starts Saturday.
Just going to talk.
Yeah,
what you thought of that?
Some heavy hearts in L.A. though.
Yeah.
Fernando Valenzuela, 63, passed away on Tuesday.
No details on what
No,
happened.
I did not. But, I said, I all those pictures, Larry, that big wind-up and the eyes go straight in the air. And just
always looking up.
He will be missed. So,
yes.
so it's but they start Friday night in L.A., Friday and Saturday in L.A., and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in New York. And if they have to come back to L.A.
This is what they wanted.
You bet.
They got the 2 best teams going at it.
And this is what the networks wanted too, I guarantee.
Oh, they got a lot of stories to talk about.
Yes. Yeah, these teams have met how many times? You go back to the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, what was it? I read it was the 14th time or something that they've met in the World Series.
Yeah, I said in the 50s it was almost Brooklyn and the Yankees every year, and then a couple of classic matchups in 77 and 78. 81, that was when Fernando's rookie year, and so it's just...
There's been some good ones over the years with these 2 teams. And it
So.
should be a good one this year. I think it'll go 7.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, for sure. I'm
Who's going to win? I don't know.
I like the Yankees in 7, so that's what I put.
Right.
But this is a toss-up because
yeah.
I think the Yankees have the little better pitching because I think they have a guy like Garrett Cole.
Okay.
I think he maybe comes a difference.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, you got to have a lot of money to get a ticket because they're going for over $1,200.
Yes.
That's in Dodger Stadium. Over $1,300 at Yankee Stadium.
Right. So,
wow.
So, one last note. Former Marshfield Senior High girls basketball player and coach, and now Pittsville high school principal Taylor Varsho, last week was inducted into the University of Sioux Falls, South Dakota Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, congratulations to her.
The middle child.
There you go. All right. Plenty of high school football coming up tomorrow night. Yep. Dick and I will be over in Edgar, Pittsville and Edgar on 92.7 WPKG. It should be an interesting Friday night of football.
It's going to be nuts up at Edgar. I mean, the whole town, the town shuts out the lights and everybody goes to the football game. It's a fun place to go watch a game and do a game.
So, all the games start at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. That's our 5th anniversary show.
Yes, congratulations, Larry. Thank you. It's been fun.
You bet.
Yeah, hopefully we get a few more out of us. So
that's Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson.
We'll talk to you next week.